Hello and welcome back to the Vibe English Learning Podcast. I'm Gary, and I'm here with my awesome co-host, Monica.
Hi, Gary. Hi, everyone. We're so happy you're joining us today.
Today's episode is really important. We'll show you how to think in English so you can stop translating in your head.
That's right. If you often stop to think in your native language and then try to change it to English, this episode is for you.
Exactly. Have you ever found yourself changing every word in your head before speaking? It really slows you down, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Many English learners deal with this. They think in their first language first and then try to switch to English. But by the time they're ready to talk, the moment is gone.
But don't worry. Today we're going to help you train your brain to think in English, just like a native speaker.
Trust me, once you start thinking in English, everything gets easier. Speaking, listening, and even writing.
So, if you've ever wondered how to stop translating and start thinking in English naturally, stay with us. We have some great tips to share.
Yes, so let's get started.
Monica, why is thinking in English so important for learners?
Great question, Gary. The truth is, if you always think in your first language and then translate, you'll never speak fluently.
Exactly. It just makes everything take longer. Your brain is working twice as hard. First, it makes a sentence in your native language, and then it looks for the right words in English.
And sometimes the translation doesn't even make sense.
Oh, for sure. Have you ever heard someone say, "I very like this movie," which sounds odd in English? You should say, "I really like this movie" instead.
Right. That's why thinking in English is so helpful. It trains your brain to create sentences like native speakers do, without getting stuck on translation.
And let's talk about confidence. When you start thinking in English, you feel more sure of yourself because words come to you faster.
Yes. No more long pauses to translate in your head. You'll respond naturally and smoothly.
Another big reason it helps is that it improves your listening skills. If you think in English, your brain processes conversations much faster, which means you understand people better.
That's so true. Not just in conversations, but also when you're watching movies or listening to music. You start recognizing words quickly instead of translating everything.
And Monica, let's not forget that thinking in English also helps with pronunciation.
Good point. Because when you think in English, you start hearing the sounds in your head the way native speakers say them, which helps you speak clearly.
So, to sum up, thinking in English helps you speak faster, boosts your confidence, improves your listening, and even makes your pronunciation better.
Now you might be wondering, okay, I see why it's important, but how do I actually train my brain to think in English?
Don't worry, we're going to break it down step by step. But first, let's talk about some common mistakes that hold people back from thinking in English.
Yes, many learners don't even realize they're making these mistakes, but once they fix them, they'll notice a big improvement in their fluency.
All right, mistake number one, relying too much on translation. If you always translate in your head before speaking, your brain never gets used to thinking in English directly.
Exactly. It's like riding a bike with training wheels forever. You need to trust your brain to form sentences naturally, instead of always searching for the right translation.
And another common mistake is focusing too much on grammar while thinking. A lot of learners try to make every sentence perfect in their minds before speaking, but that actually slows them down.
Oh, yes, grammar is important, but if you keep stopping to check every little rule, you'll never speak naturally. Native speakers don't think about grammar rules while talking, right?
Exactly. They just talk, and guess what? Even native speakers make grammar mistakes sometimes.
That's so true. Mistake number 3, fear of making mistakes. Some people are so afraid of saying something wrong that they stop themselves from thinking or speaking in English at all.
Right? But making mistakes is how we learn. The more you practice thinking in English, the better you'll get. Don't be afraid to sound imperfect. Fluency comes with practice, not perfection.
Absolutely. Another mistake that blocks thinking in English is not surrounding yourself with English. If your daily life is filled with your native language, your brain will naturally stick to that language.
Great point. If you only use English in a classroom or for studying, but not in daily life, your brain won't switch to English naturally.
That's why immersion is so important. Things like listening to English music, watching English videos, and reading in English really help.
Okay, let's quickly recap the biggest mistakes that stop you from thinking in English. 1. Relying too much on translation. 2. Overthinking grammar while forming sentences. 3. Fear of making mistakes. 4th, not surrounding yourself with enough English.
If you're making any of these mistakes, don't worry. The good news is we'll show you how to fix them.
Yes. Now, let's dive into the most important part. How can learners actually train their brains to think in English?
We'll break it down into simple, powerful steps that anyone can follow.
Perfect. Let's start with step 1. Name things around you in English.
Oh, I love this one. It's such an easy habit to build. Just look around and say the names of objects in English. For example, if you're in your room, think table, chair, lamp, phone.
Exactly. And to take it further, you can describe what's happening. Instead of just thinking book, you can think, I am reading a book.
Yes, this helps your brain connect everyday life with English, making it feel more natural over time.
All right, step 2. Talk to yourself in English. It might feel funny at first, but it's one of the best ways to start thinking in English.
Yes, you can do this anywhere, when you're cooking, getting dressed, or walking outside. Just describe what you're doing in simple English like, I'm putting on my jacket.
And the great thing is, there's no pressure because you're just talking to yourself.
Exactly. And if you're worried about making mistakes, don't be. No one is listening. It's just you training your brain to use English naturally.
Great. Now, step 3. Use an English-to-English dictionary.
Oh, this is a game changer. Many learners still use dictionaries that translate words into their native language, but switching to an English-to-English dictionary helps you think in English instead of translating.
Right. For example, if you don't know the word happy, instead of translating it, look it up in an English dictionary where it says feeling joy or pleasure.
Exactly. And it helps you improve your vocabulary naturally.
All right, next step 4. Think in simple sentences first.
Yes. Many learners try to think in complex sentences too soon, and that makes them feel stuck. Instead, start with short, simple thoughts.
Like, instead of thinking, I need to go to the store to buy some fruits, just start with, I need fruits.
Yes, once you feel comfortable, your sentences will naturally get longer over time.
All right, let's move on to step 5. Have an English inner voice.
Oh, I love this one. Instead of thinking in your native language, try to have a little conversation in English in your head. For example, if you're planning your day, think, what should I do first? Maybe I'll start with breakfast.
Yes. This is like turning your thoughts into an English dialogue. It's one of the fastest ways to start thinking in English without much effort.
And you can even ask yourself questions in English like, how do I feel today? Or what should I wear?
That's a great habit. Finally, step 6. Surround yourself with English.
Yes. The more you expose yourself to English, the more natural it becomes. Listen to English podcasts, watch English videos, and read books or articles in English.
That's right. The more English you hear, the more your brain starts thinking in English automatically.
So let's quickly recap the 6 steps to train your brain to think in English. 1. Name things around you in English. 2. Talk to yourself in English. 3. Use an English-to-English dictionary. 4. Think in simple sentences first. 5. Have an English inner voice. 6. Surround yourself with English.
These steps will help you stop translating and start thinking in English naturally.
Yes, and the best part is you can start practicing these today.
Next, we'll talk about daily exercises you can do to make thinking in English a permanent habit.
Right. because just knowing the techniques isn't enough. You need to practice consistently to train your brain to think in English naturally.
Exactly. So let's share some simple daily exercises that will help learners develop this skill. First, start and end your day with English thoughts.
When you wake up, try to describe your plans for the day in English.
Yes. Instead of thinking in your native language, say in your mind, "Today is Tuesday. I start work at 9 a.m. I will have lunch with my colleague."
And at night, do the same. Review your day in English before sleeping. Think, what did I do today? Did I enjoy it?
This helps your brain switch to English mode at the beginning and end of the day.
The second daily practice is to set a no translation rule for at least 30 minutes a day.
Oh, I love this one. For those 30 minutes, challenge yourself to only think in English. No translating allowed.
Yes, it might be hard at first, but even if you struggle, just try. The more you practice, the easier it gets.
Next, try to talk to yourself in English out loud for a few minutes every day.
Right. Just like we mentioned earlier, describe what you're doing. You can say, I'm making dinner. It smells delicious.
The key is to make English part of your daily routine, even if no one is around to listen.
Another great way to practice is to use English while doing simple activities like cooking, driving, or exercising.
Yes. Instead of letting your mind wander, focus on thinking in English. If you're going for a walk, you can think, "The weather's nice today. The sun is shining. I feel good."
Finally, keep a simple English journal. Write down your thoughts, what happened during your day, or even your goals in English.
This is a great way to track your progress. Don't worry about grammar. Just focus on expressing yourself in English.
All right, let's quickly summarize these daily exercises. 1. Start and end your day in English. 2. Set a no translation rule for at least 30 minutes a day. 3. Talk to yourself aloud in English. 4. Use English during simple activities. 5. Keep an English journal.
If you do these small exercises every day, thinking in English will become automatic over time.
That's right. Now let's talk about how to stay motivated and consistent in your English thinking practice.
We've covered a lot of strategies, but let's be honest. Learners will face challenges along the way.
Absolutely. It's normal to struggle, but the key is to overcome these challenges instead of giving up.
So, let's go over 3 common challenges and how to solve them.
One of the biggest problems learners face is boredom. They study the same way every day and feel tired of it.
Oh yes, that happens a lot. If English feels boring, your brain won't enjoy thinking in English.
The solution? Make English part of fun activities. Watch funny YouTube videos, listen to songs you love, or play games in English.
Exactly. Turn English into entertainment, not homework.
Even following cooking videos or workout videos in English helps.
When it's fun, your brain learns without even realizing it.
Another challenge is feeling stuck because you don't know the right words. This can be frustrating.
It happens to everyone. But instead of stopping, try to describe the word using simple English. For example, if you forget the word umbrella, you can think, "The thing I use to stay dry in the rain."
That's a great tip. The goal is to keep thinking in English, even when you don't know every word.
Now, this one is tough. Many learners feel like they're not making progress and lose motivation.
Yes. But the truth is, progress is often slow and you might not see it right away.
Exactly. Keep a small journal, record your voice, or even talk to yourself in front of a mirror. A few weeks later, you'll see the difference.
The most important thing is to stay patient and keep going. Thinking in English is a skill, and like any skill, it takes time.
That's right. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Just keep practicing, and soon thinking in English will feel natural.
Wow, Gary, we've covered so many great strategies today. Thinking in English is a journey, but with the right mindset and daily practice, anyone can do it.
Absolutely. Remember to start small, be consistent, and don't be afraid of making mistakes. The more you practice, the easier it will become.
Now, to all our listeners, what's one tip from today's episode that you're going to try first? Let us know in the comments or share your experience with us.
And if you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our podcast for more English learning tips.
Keep practicing, keep thinking in English, and we'll see you in the next episode. Until then, happy learning.